Mistaking the Mikel. It is brought to you by bet winner John Obi Mikel, Chris McHardy back in our hot seats the morning after, maybe the biggest day in the Premier League's title race. John, you're wearing City colours. It's not gone unnoticed.
No, it's blue. It's Chelsea. Come on, it's Chelsea blue.
No, I tell you what, it's Coventry City. Big shout out to Frank.
Yeah. Lamsey, you can see I'm here always supporting you, mate. And congratulations to you. I mean, what an amazing job he's done, Frank Lampard.
Unreal.
I mean, getting Coventry City back into the Premier League, and he's done an amazing, absolute fantastic job. Taking over, we all know where he took over from, where the club was. And I think Coventry City is a big football club, and the history of the club as well, to not be in the Premier League, it's been a long time, and it's good to see them back. And what a great job Frank has done. Back in the Premier League, I think that's where he belongs.
Yeah.
You make mistakes in life, right? And then you sometimes take a step down and to be able to find yourself and get things right. And I think that's what's happened to Frank. And I think now, with the experience that he's had now with the Championship, it's going to help him a lot when he comes, when next season when they're in the Premier League. I think he's learned a lot. And also with his second spell at Chelsea, with everything that went on.
Yeah.
And then going to Coventry and bringing them back into the Premier League. I think he's going to be absolutely superb next season in the Premier League.
They have been the entertainers. Not yet have they won the title in the Championship, but...
Yeah, I did send him a text. I said, make sure you go on now and win it. It's like, don't worry about that.
And they will. I've got no doubt they will as well. Did not expect to be starting this podcast talking about Coventry, John. I mean, we joke about it.
Yeah.
We'll get to Chelsea. Of course, their defeat to Man United.
Yeah.
But you've become a bit of a thorn in the side of Arsenal fans. You said it all the way back when you went, guys, we're getting carried away. History shows that Arsenal might just go on and bottle this.
Yeah.
There is still a long way to go, but it was the big one. We were all tuned in for it. They went to the Etihad and ultimately they've lost the game of football. Fair result?
Yeah, I think fair result. I think the best team won, but I must say, fire. I'm on fire. Bring it on.
I've got a feeling you were going to say that.
Fire. That's the quote, isn't it?
It is.
Every week he's coming out with a quote. One week they're playing with a pen in the training ground. They have a TikTok music playing, and it's all going off with
Bring the lunch.
Bring the lunch, bring the dinner. Next week he said, bring your shin pad, bring your boots to the fans. The week before this game, a couple of days before this game, is ask a simple question. He's like, fire. I'm on fire. Just calm down, mate. Enjoy it. Relax. You've worked so hard to be in this position. Don't be rattled. He is rattled. I'm looking as a manager. I'm looking at both sides, both managers, and you can tell. When you look at both managers right now, you can see who's been there, who's done it. The experience, having the know-how, how to play down situations, how to control situations. Both managers are dealing with it very, very differently. One hand, you have a manager who's absolutely rattled, who's lost his shit, who's lost the control of his dressing room, who's lost to control himself. He looks tense. He looks, even when he tries to be calm, he's faking it. It's not natural.
Yeah.
Everything that he's doing is so cringy, and it's not nice to see him. He needs to relax. He needs to stop coming up with these quotes week in, week out, the days before games. Just be calm, Arteta. Relax. Answer the questions. Just act normal. Stop. What is on fire? What do you mean you're on fire? This is the time that you need to be calm. You don't need to be on fire this time. In a couple of days, you're on fire, but now you're humbled. You are absolutely humbled by City. And on the other hand, you have a manager who's been there, who has the know-how, who knows how to win titles, who knows how to cross the finish line, who's won the Premier League 4 times in a row. He looks absolutely calm. He's enjoying the situation. He's enjoying with the situation where they are right now. They have the momentum on their side. They're playing well. They're scoring goals. They're creating chances. His players everything seems to be clicking right now. They finally find their feet come towards the end of the season. And we talked about it. Winning that League Cup has given them a massive boost. The way they're playing, they know they can beat anyone right now, Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. He is calm. He trusts the process. He trusts his players. He knows that they can go on and beat anyone. And that's what we saw in the game. yesterday. We saw two managers. One absolutely knows that his team can create chances to score goals. One absolutely knows that his team is playing the best football. Doku, Shirky, Semenyo. And you have Bernardo Silva, who we talk about, who we have to touch on later on. Rodri, these players, they can win you games. They know how to turn up in the big games. And that's what we saw. One team knowing how to turn up in the big games, to win the big games, and the other doesn't know how to play big games. When you need during the big games, that's when you need your big players to step up. And that's what we saw. We saw Ryan Cherki step up and be that guy that's playing with so much confidence. The swagger that he's playing with, the confidence, the belief that he's playing with. Just everything he does is just absolutely joy to watch. You have Semenyo on the other side, Doku, who's taking players on. And of course, Nico O'Reilly, who's always popping up. And everything is clicking for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva, Rodri in that midfield. Those two just control. They run the show, those two, with the experience that they have. Because they've been there. They've won the Premier League so many times with this team. And leading this young City side, galvanizing them, bringing them together and pushing them through this big game. It's just absolute joy to watch. And of course, the way the game ended, I think the best team absolutely win the game.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
I know we spoke on last week's pod talking about what Arsenal do in this game. Got to give them a little bit of credit. Okay. I know Roy Keane, if he was watching or listening this, would be having none of this. I know they lost John, but when we sat here last week...
I like Roy though. I think Roy is natural. I think it's probably the best one for me.
He
natural, says it as it is. He doesn't, and he doesn't care what he says. Take it or leave it. He says it how it is. And that's what I like. And that's what we do here in the pod. I hate people when they say something, they're trying to play the whole thing on TV. No, I don't do that.
He doesn't. And neither do you, in fairness. But the point he made was, listen, can't be sitting here praising Arsenal. They ultimately lost the game. But we did speak on this pod saying, let's hope he goes for it. Let's hope he doesn't sit back and try to play to Arsenal's strengths and give him his due yesterday. He did that, did Mikel?
He did. I think they played. I think it's probably the first time we've seen them play well in months, absolute months. I think they did turn up yesterday. I like the way they set up. They approached the game the right way. They pushed up high to press City, and I think they were successful. They had success a couple of times where they did press, and they were successful with it. But ultimately, they did lose the game. I think at this point in time, you have to. Yes, we do criticize them of not playing well and winning games. But, you have City who's playing well and winning games. And I just think this was the game that Arsenal should find a way of winning. This is a game you have to find a way of winning. You have to go there and beat your biggest rival. If you want to win the Premier League, if you want to win a title, you have to call yourself champions. You have to be able to beat the best team in the Premier League. And so far, they failed to beat City this season. They failed. You lost to City in the League Cup, and now they've humbled you again at home. You've lost to City again in the Premier League. So it was an absolute fantastic game to watch. City played really well, I think. First half, they played absolutely well. Second half, Arsenal did come out. Created chances, I thought they were going to go on and win it. But when you have the players that Manchester City have, they will create chances at any given time. They will win you games. And of course, when you have the big man there who will score you goals, who will make sure that he wins you the big games. I thought it's been a long time. We've talked about Haaland not turning up in the big game. Yesterday he did. He was fighting with Gabriel, Saliba. He was pushing, he was shoving, he did everything. He was fighting, he was defending. That's the Haaland that Manchester City fans wants to see. That's the type of performances they want to see. And he absolutely did it yesterday. And of course, to come up with a winning goal is just absolutely superb. I think Manchester City right now, the way they're playing, the momentum is on their side. Full of confidence. They're very assured of themselves. When you watch a team that is assured of themselves, and you have a manager who knows when to turn that engine on. And right now, I did say the engine is on overdrive. The engine is on full flow. And it doesn't seem there's anyone that can stop this Manchester City right now. They believe they can go on and beat anyone. But a massive blow yesterday is the injury to Rodri. I think for me, he is that guy that just epitomizes what Manchester City football stands for. There is a connection between the way Manchester City's side is built and Rodri. Everything clicks when he's on the pitch. they seem to find their best form when he's on the pitch. Yes, he did come back from injury. A few games, yes, there was still. But right now, when he's fit 100%, the way he's performing in his full capacity, they look like a total different team.
In possession and out of possession.
Everything he does. And of course, with Bernardo Silva, who's just seems to find the right time in every game. He's in the right position. He reads the game really, really well. And Pep Guardiola has talked about, the love and the joy that he has for Bernardo Silva.
No wonder.
Physically, he's not the biggest guy. He's this little man that, just goes around his business. Like 1 minute yesterday, he's attacking, he's going forward. The next minute, he's on his defending set pieces, headers, defending against 6-foot striker. And everything he did yesterday was just superb. It's good to see players like knowing that he's leaving the team come the end of the season, but he's still performing. He's still putting in those performances. I just hope they can be able to convince him to stay one more season. Hopefully, maybe that can happen, but he's made his decision. He wants to go. But again, very, very disappointing from Arsenal. Very, very disappointing. Yes, they did play well.
Didn't get the result.
They didn't get the result. For such a long time, months and months, this is the best we've seen them come out and approach the game the right way. Play and try to win a game. But ultimately, at this point of the season, they've lost another 3 points. They've went home empty-handed. And Manchester City now have closed the gap to 3 points. If they win on Wednesday, they go top of the league. And now Arsenal will look back at it. I think if you look at it though, where they've lost, if they go on not to win this Premier League, where they lost this league, where they've lost this Premier League title, is the game against Bournemouth.
Not yesterday.
Not yesterday. Arsenal, if they end up not winning the Premier League, they will look back at this game against Bournemouth and say, this is absolutely where we absolutely bottled the fuck out of this Premier League. Because that is the game that they could have gone on to win and put the pressure on Manchester City 12 points before they kick off.
Yes.
That is huge.
Yeah.
And you go on and you put up such a disgraceful performance and losing the game. That is the game that they will look back and say, this is the game where we absolutely bottled it. This is the game where we absolutely lost it. The game against Bournemouth. They were shocking at home. You should have put the pressure on Manchester City. Go 12 points ahead before Manchester City kick off. So it's just disappointing. And their fans as well. I mean, it's just devastating to see what's going on at the football club. And I talk about it so many times. They've been top of the league all the way now. Come towards the end of the season, the history of the football club, what we know about this team, what we know about Arsenal Football Club, what we know how every season they finish second, they come back, they find a way of making sure that they finish second. They love finishing second. They absolutely love it. They absolutely enjoy it. And I've said it, the only reason why they've not been criticizing the manager is because they're top of the league. Yeah. And now the point is drastically cut down. Now it's from 9 points to 3 points. If City wins on Wednesday, they go top of the league. And that is going to be the first time that Manchester City will go top of the league. And I think if they do go top of the league, I think it's very tough to knock them down. So
that was going to be my next question. I've seen a lot, and now this may well be Arsenal fans that are putting forward this notion, John, that in actual fact, in a weird sort of way, losing the lead might actually free Arsenal up. From the hunted, they become the hunters. Do you buy into any of that?
No, I don't buy into that. I think at this stage of the season, you want to be top of the league. It doesn't matter. You want to be top of the league. Whether it's 1 point, whether it's goal difference, it's going to be huge come the end of the season. You don't want to say you want to consider.
You're happy chasing.
No. At this point of the season, I don't want to be happy chasing. I want to be top of the league. And that's what Manchester City are chasing for. And Arsenal have been there all throughout the season. And so far, they find a way of fucking it up. Now, it's 3 points. And it's just, they can't find a way of winning the game. They've lost 4 games in a row domestically.
Yes.
Lost the League Cup, crashed out in the FA Cup against Southampton.
That's right.
Lost against Bournemouth, and now they lost against City.
Yeah.
They can't find a way of winning games. Even yesterday, the goal they scored was a horrible mistake from Donnarumma. So where is the creativity? Where is that spark? Where is that thing? Who gets them goals? Who creates chances? Nobody, absolutely nobody. Yesterday, okay, they did create a couple of chances where, they hit the woodwork. Yes, exactly. And you thought, okay, they're going to go on and win it. But there's just nothing that seems to be working for this team. And I think it boils down to the manager. The manager needs to take responsibility. The manager needs to find a way of getting this place, motivating this place. How do I get the best of my team? How do I get the best out of this players? And so far, between both teams, one manager has been able to do that. One manager has been able to find a way of getting his team to play the best football and start winning games.
We saw the chance late on. A man that, of course, written into Chelsea folklore, scored the winning goal against Man City in the Champions League final back in 2021. Kai Havertz. I mean, Mikel Arteta ended up on his knees in the touchline.
He was crawling on his knees.
He was.
I don't know if it was knee sliding or what he was doing, hamstring slide. Whatever he was doing he just looked very odd.
He was I think he was like everyone. Certainly when I was watching it as well, we were up. I mean, Havertz, I've watched it back a few times.
It was a good header though. It was a good header.
He needs to score, John.
Anyway on the floor, bottom, it would have been in. It would have gone in. But of course, maybe Donnarumma would have saved it. But
center of the goal, he's got to score.
Yeah. But listen, yes, they did play well, Arsenal. I thought they played well yesterday. They created chances. It was 50-50, both teams, were up for it. I thought the way they approached the game again, like I said, the way they approached the game was good. They approached the game the right way. But they just, again, they've lost the game. So whichever way you look at it, you can praise Arsenal. You can say whatever you want to say about the football club, but the history is there. And I keep talking about it. The history of them finding a way of fucking everything up come towards the end of the season is there. Again, how do you look at it? How do you look at it? And I keep saying it. The mental side of this team is very, very weak. I just think that the mental part, when it comes towards the big games, towards the end of the season, the mental part plays a massive, massive part because you need your big players. You need your senior players to be able to stand up. You need players with the right mentality to be able to show up. And so far, this Arsenal side have failed to turn up when it matters. And when it matters is towards the end of the season. And I just think that mental side of the game is what they need to change. Mikel Arteta has to find a way. How do I get this team? Stop coming up with these quotes. Stop doing all this TikTok shit on training. Get these players in a room. Find a way of talking to these players. How do you motivate these players? How do I get the best out of them? Because the quality is there. We know the quality is in that team. They have a very, very good team. Sometimes it comes down to the manager. The manager have to look at himself and say, have I done enough as a manager? Have I got the best out of my players? The manager has to take responsibility. Criticize yourself a little bit. Take responsibility. Look at yourself. And I think so far, Mikel Arteta hasn't done that because he's coming up with all these excuses. There is no excuse right now. You have to win your games. You have to win your games. And Manchester City have found a way of doing that. Pep Guardiola knows how to do it. And he's been able to do that so far.
We touched on it last week, in fact, on the other episode of this podcast, the month of April, right? Business end, squeaky bum time, as Fergie called it. This is the month where ultimately you put yourself in position to win the big trophies. Pep Guardiola, his winning percentage in the month of April, over 71%, John.
Insane.
Mikel Arteta, 39. It is statistically the worst month. So I guess the question, if we're presented with that information, you played the game at the elite level, how does he change that? What can he do? Because that stat tells me one thing. Tells me that he's obviously got to look inward, to your point. He's got to look at, right, I need to work out a way. What is going wrong? And what can I do to free my players of the burden, the pressure, call it what you will,
that's
of
what
performing.
That's what it is. You have to find a way of speaking. It's about conversation. It's about knowing your players well. It's about knowing what gets them to tick. It's about knowing how do I get the best out of them. As a manager, and all these players in this Arsenal squad came into this club by Mikel Arteta. He brought this players in. So there is no excuse there. These are his players. These are the players that he brought into the football club. So he knows the play. He knows the players. He has to find a way. What do I need to do each and every player, how do I get the best out of them? Having conversation with them one-on-one. It doesn't matter what it is. How do you get Saka to get back to his best? How do I get Eze that I saw at Crystal Palace? How do I get the best out of him? Have a conversation with him. Let him explain to you how he feels comfortable. Then you as a manager try to find a way, find the balance of making sure you can balance what he wants to do and how you want him to play.
Yeah.
It's about the balance. And I just think Mikel Arteta hasn't done that. You can use same situation with Ryan Sheikh and Pep Guardiola. Everybody said it. He's not a Pep Guardiola kind of player. He's a maverick. He's not a player that likes to defend. He's not a player he likes to... What has Pep done in months? Pep has spent time in months trying to install to this fantastic player. You have to find the balance. Yes, I know you have to have the ball. Yes, I know you like to create and do, but also when you don't have the ball, how do you become a team player? How do you defend? How do you make sure you fight for the team? Not just when you have the ball. Pep Guardiola has built a fantastic player. Now you see Ryan Sheikh is everywhere. He's defending, he's running back because the manager has found a way of getting the best out of him. So far, Mikel Arteta has found a way. He hasn't found a way of doing that. Come towards the end of the season. Yeah. The crunch time, the squeaky bomb time, like Fergie calls it. You have to find a way of getting the best out of those players. And so far, Mikel Arteta hasn't done that. So for me, I think this is the difference between both teams. That one manager has found a way of doing it, and the other hasn't. The other is looking for excuses. The other has tried to win in the Premier League just with set pieces and corner kicks. And it's not working out right now for you with those set pieces and corner kicks. What is the next option? What is the next options? So I saw a quote the other day of Jorginho saying, did you see the quote of Jorginho saying where he wanted to be free? When you spend so much time coaching a team on how to depend on set pieces, that is not fun anymore.
Yeah.
That is not fun. That is like... And that's what slowly happened with this Arsenal side. When you spend so much time coaching the players, practicing set pieces, corner kicks, throw-ins, what happened to the creative side of the game? What happened to those potentials of those players that you have? You have to keep continuously coaching them how to bring out their best. And he's failed to do that. So he needs to get back to that. Find a way of getting back to that. Get the best out of Saka. Get the best of Eze. Harvard, Odegaard is back, who I think makes them play better. We saw that yesterday. When he's on the pitch, they play a little bit better. So he needs to find a way of getting the best out of this side. But, it is a crunch time. City are on full flow. The momentum is on their side. And when I see some ex-players saying, it doesn't matter if they go on to go trophyless this season, but if he finishes a point behind and he crashes out of that, we need to give him perspective. What?
It shows that they're moving in the right
direction. No, you're not moving in the right direction, man. You've been there 5-6 years.
7.
And you've spent more than $1 billion. And these are your players. How many chances are you going to get? How many? This is the best season for them to win. This is going to be and has been the best.
Yes.
I still think they're in the pole position. I still think they can still go on and win it.
So do I.
But if he doesn't win it, if he doesn't cross the finish line, I've said it time and time again.
He never will.
I don't think he can. I don't think he will ever do it with this Arsenal side. So he has to walk. He has to walk. He's done a fantastic job in building this squad. Sometimes it's just about a different voice that can come in, that the players that can buy into, the players can listen to, that can be able to take this Arsenal side to the finish line. And if he doesn't do it this season, I think he needs to put his hand up and say, you know what? I have built you the best squad in the Premier League, because I do think they have the best. In terms of players, in terms of squad, in terms of positions, he's done fantastically well in that sense. But going to the finish line, crossing the finish line, if he doesn't do it this season, I think he needs to put his hands up and he needs to walk.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. The owners want to give him a new contract. He said he doesn't want to talk about that now. That can wait until the end of the season. Interesting though, you're saying, John, if he doesn't win anything, if they fail to win the Premier League and they don't win the Champions League, Mikel's time, done.
Mate, 2-3 months ago, we were talking about a fucking quadruple.
Some people were, yeah.
We were talking about it. It was realistic. It was there. Everybody was saying, wow,
League Cup final.
They look unbeatable.
Yeah.
They look like there's no one that can stop Arsenal right now.
11 points clear.
11 points clear. They were absolutely flying. They were winning. They were scoring goals by set pieces, which, whatever it was. But they were flying. They were winning games.
And they were not conceding.
And they were not conceding. They look rattled. They look like they've lost it. They look like a team that is out of sorts. A team that has zero confidence. A team that doesn't know what to do. A team that is finding it difficult to cope with the absolute pressure that is coming from Manchester City. They're not going away, City. We knew that Manchester City were never going to go away. We knew they were always going to be there. Pep Guardiola will never roll the red carpet for you and say, hey, you know what, come here, take it. No.
No chance.
No chance. We knew once Pep is able to get this new team, let's not forget, this is an absolute new squad. The players that left Manchester City, the legends that left the football club, Kyle Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, Ederson, the spine of the football that left. And he managed to bring some new, young, talented players with potential. And we were thinking, okay, he's rebuilding a new team, a new squad. It's going to take him maybe a couple of seasons. We're thinking about next season before they start competing. But that's what you get from a manager that knows how to win games. A manager that never gives up. A manager that knows how to compete. A manager that never wants to give up and say, you know what, here you go, take it. A manager that's won the Premier League 4 times in a row. That always wants to win. The fire is still there. The desires to still go on and keep winning is still there. He still wants to keep going. The pressure will always be there. And Arsenal should know this. That the last person that's going to roll over for them to say, you know what, go on and win the Premier League is Pep Guardiola. Especially when his progeny, somebody that left him, he's second to going on to win the Premier League. He's never going to let that happen.
Never.
No chance Pep is going to let that happen. He can come out and say how much all their friends and his Pep, come on. He's never going to let one of his come and beat him.
No chance.
No chance. So we knew the pressure was never going to go away. And Arsenal should know that. And so far, they have failed, absolutely failed to dealing with the pressure. And the pressure is still there. The pressure is mounting. They have 5 games left. I think this week, the game against Newcastle is absolutely a must-win for Arsenal. Absolutely must-win. There is no draw. There is no... If they draw or lose that game, that's it. I think it's done. If City win on Wednesday, go top of the league, and if Arsenal fail to beat Newcastle, I think the season is done. I think they're still in the right position to go on to win the Premier League.
Got to win all their games.
But they have to win all their games. They can't afford to drop any more points because City will be there. City will be there. But again, like I said, Rodri has to be on the pitch.
A lot of chat. I want to move on to Chelsea in a second, John, but a lot of chat. Great game, great advert for the Premier League. 2 teams going at it. You know, we talked about Arsenal's approach. That helps the product ultimately at the end of the day. But let's not sugarcoat it. They were very lucky to finish the game with 11 men. Gabriel, listen, I've seen a lot of stuff written about Erling Haaland. If he had gone down, it was a red. No. VAR should have got involved. We do not need players rolling around the pitch.
We do not need players rolling around, exactly. We do not need players rolling around.
It's a red card.
And credit to Haaland. Or you can look at it and say, well, if they lost the game, a manager would be upset and say, why did you go down? Down to 10 men, we would have won the game. But again, they've won the game. So Pep, okay, didn't complain that much. City didn't complain that much. But for me,
it's a red card.
That incident is 1,000% a red card. There is no question about that. The reason we have VAR again, the reason we have this is to be able to make these decisions, is to be able to get these decisions correct. Absolutely correct. The law of the game states that once your head, both players can come head to head.
Yeah, fine.
But once your head goes that way, leans over to headbutt, it's an absolute straight red card. So the excuse from the VAR was, the explanation was there was no force. There was no force towards the headbutt.
Nonsense.
It's not until someone is knocked out on the pitch before the VAR says, oh yeah, okay, now there's an absolute force. And now it's a red card.
It needs Haaland.
Or it needs Haaland to roll over on the floor. Oh, yeah, red card. We don't want to see that on the pitch. We don't want to see that in a game today. Credit to Haaland, yeah, he stayed up. But that for me is an absolutely red card. There's no question about that. You can talk to anybody. Even they need to come out. PGMOL, they need to come out and say absolutely they got this one wrong. Because we've seen that given. We've seen players sent off situations like this, where players have been sent off in situations like this. So for me, it's an absolute red card. Arsenal and Gabriel are so lucky to finish the game with 11 men. Absolutely lucky, because for me, that is an absolute red card. There's no question about it.
And had it been the other way around, John.
Had it been the other way around?
You and I both know who's hitting the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Gabriel.
Had it been the other way around, you would have seen some, I've got...
Gabriel.
That would have been Gabriel on the floor, rolling around like a little whatever. Yeah. But it just shows the credit to Haaland. He stood up, he stayed on his feet, he didn't fall down, he didn't roll around. And that's what we want to see in the game. But VAR is there to see those decisions and say, you know what, although you didn't headbutt the play, but the intent was there. The intent is there. Your head was leaned over. You wanted to headbutt him. Yeah. Not until we see players got knocked out, broken nose and everything. They say, oh, is your nose broken? Okay, here you go. Now you're red carded. No, that's not what we want to see. We want to see the rules being absolutely done correctly.
Yeah.
And that was the rule. There's a consistency. That's for me, the consistency. They always fail. And I think the referee yesterday, Anthony Taylor, just in that situation for me, I think that's a situation where he absolutely chose the easy route. He chose the easy route to deal with the situation. Big game, massive game. He doesn't know what to do. He's confused. He doesn't have the balls to be able to, you know what? Yes, this is the rules. This is an absolute rules. It is a red card, and I'm going to absolutely show you a straight red card. And off you go. 3 games ban, and that would have been a massive, massive blow for Arsenal.
That's it.
Massive blow for Arsenal. So in terms of the Premier League titles,
Gabriel's got
losing Gabriel for 3 games, that would have been massive, massive blow for Arsenal. So for me, they are absolutely lucky to have him on the pitch. And Anthony Taylor will look back at that and say, you know what, I absolutely shit myself there, because that's where he should have stood up and be bold enough to make the right decision. Yeah. I just think he chose the easy route and the wrong decision by yellow carding both players and say, you know what, just to be fair here, I don't want to show anyone red card because it's a massive game. It's a very, very important game. No, the rules is the rules. Have the ball to make those decisions.
You should have sent him off.
You should have sent him off. You should have sent him off. He was so weak in that decision. Absolutely weak. And I think Anthony Taylor is a good referee. But yesterday, he was very, very weak. I thought he didn't handle the game really, really well. There was so much pulling. There's so much shoving. There's so much grabbing. The way he handled the game and that decision that he failed of sending Gabriel off, for me, I just think he was so weak and he chose the absolutely easy route to save himself, because he doesn't want to get criticized the next day. It's a big game. It's a huge game. And he chose the easy route. But then VAR absolutely should have called him back and say, you know what? That's an absolute straight card. You have to send him off.
A great advert. It was. Listen, whether it was a red card or not, it was an incredible game. Chances at both ends.
Yeah.
City won it, of course, pitted one Manchester team against team from London. You know where I'm going, John. The other match on Saturday night, they pitted a Manchester club against a London club.
Yeah.
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
I'll take the win all day long, John. It wasn't pretty. Man United with a right back as centre half, a young boy playing centre half, and Aiden Heaven alongside Lance Rowie. Clean sheet to boot. United will take that. But for Chelsea, John, it's now 1 win in 8.
Not looking good.
It's now 4 defeats in the Premier League on the bounce without scoring a goal. Obviously, you don't need me to remind you. Beaten by Newcastle 1-0. Yeah. You've got a 3-0 away loss at Everton, a 3-0 home loss to City, and now a 1-0 home loss to Man United. It's not good. And of course, 6th, 7 points now behind Liverpool in the race.
It's not looking good, mate. It's not looking good.
It's not good.
No, it's not looking good. I think when you look at the football club right now, from top to bottom, nothing seems to be going well. Absolutely nothing seems to be going well. Where is what is the objective? Where are we looking at? The worst thing you can do as a football club is to accept and be like, okay, we accept this is where we are right now. This is who we're becoming. I think that's the worst mistake you can make. And I think that's probably what Arsenal Football Club did. They started slowly but surely accepting who they are, where they're becoming. And that's why they went 23 years of not winning the Premier League.
Just getting into the Champions League was
Just getting into the Champions League is not good enough for a club like Chelsea. A club that has so far in the past 10, 15 years, whichever way you want to look at it, has been spoiled by winning trophies. The fans have enjoyed the success that we created at the football club. Winning trophies, being successful. An owner that invested so much into the football club absolutely did everything for the football club. Those fans absolutely deserve to continue to enjoy what we've built, which is success, which is winning, competing, and showing up week in, week out. Right now, it's like we all accept who we are. We lose a game, oh, it's fine. We lose a game, oh, it's fine. It's not fucking okay. It's not okay. It's not fine. Chelsea Football Club is not that club. This is a football club that's been built as a machine to win, to keep winning, to keep being successful. And in the past few years, the acceptance of becoming this yo-yo football club is what is happening right now. And last week we talked about it. From top to bottom. The top, obviously, the owners. Trickles down to the manager, to the players. If it's not working at the top, the people at the top are not there for the right reasons. The people at the top doesn't give a shit whether the team wins or whatever. What they care about is something else. Then it's becoming a different football club. When we were there, if we lose a game, couple of games, 2-3 games, crisis, the owner comes in. Yo, what's going on? What's happening? How do we get back to winning ways? How do we resolve this situation? How do we fix this? Because this is not who we are. We need to get back to winning ways. It hurts when we lose games. It used to hurt when we used to lose games. And straight away, we find a way of getting back to winning ways. And I don't see that right now. I see a team. I see an owner. I see a manager. I see players that have accepted who we are, where we are going, where the slop that we're getting into, the yo-yo team that we're becoming. I see that. I see a trend. I see players that are not upset when they lose games.
They're accepting of it.
They're accepting who we're becoming. And that is bad. That is an absolutely bad situation. And I've said it. Once you as a football club start to get yourself out of the conversation, out of the equation of season in, season out, of competing to winning big titles, competing to being successful, then the slippery slope start going. You find yourself there. And once you find yourself there, it's very, very hard. It takes a long time to rebuild yourself. Arsenal. And that's what I'm saying. We can see that with Arsenal. It is taking Mikel Arteta 5-6 seasons to be able to get them to where they are, to this level where they are. So I feel that this is where we're going. We're slowly but surely going down that route. We have to quickly, talking about next season, do I think he is the right manager to be there next season? I don't believe that. And when you look at the statement that the football club, the owners, when you look at your owners come out and make a statement like that, saying, we think
he has every attribute to be successful here.
Yeah.
He goes on, this is Bidadig Bali. Of course, it's a results business, but we think he can be successful long term. A lot of thinking in there.
A lot of thinking in there. They were not sure. They are still not sure. And right now, what message are you sending to the players? What message are you sending to the fans? To the people who absolutely love the football club? When you make decisions like that you think that you're not so sure about. You think he is the guy to lead us. You think he's been successful. They are not sure. How can the fans, how can the players trust the process? What you're trying to build? What you're trying to say that you're trying to build? The fans have to believe it. And when you make statements like that, absolutely zero belief, the fans believes. You've given the players the excuse to not run through brick walls for this manager. You've given the players an escape route of thinking, we're not sure if he's going to be there next season. The statement is an absolute shambles. Again, it comes down to ownership, management. And That is where this football club is going right now. I am absolutely heartbroken as a Chelsea player, as a fan right now that I am. Somebody who shed blood and tears for the football club. Somebody but absolutely was there when we absolutely dominated, won everything. If I tell you what it took us, season in, season out, when we go trophyless the season before that, we look at each other and be like, that's an absolute bad season. We have to get back to winning ways. Have to, straight away. We have to bounce back.
Would it hurt you all summer, John? See, when you
went... Of course it would. Of course it would.
Did it affect you?
You go on holidays, you don't want to be seen. You go training, you go running, you try to keep yourself fit, knowing that when the season kicks up next season, straight away you're right at it. You want to be there. You want to compete. Because you know last season wasn't good enough. You want to put it right this season by going on to win the Premier League, the FA Cup, competing to win the Champions League. Because that's the minimum that this football club demands of you. Coming to the Chelsea Football Club doesn't mean you just want to wear the shirt. You just want to live in London. Beautiful London. Beautiful city.
But you know what, John? You know what, John? I get the impression now, to your point, there's a lot of young players there. Big, long contracts. Living in London. It's nice.
Nice. Beautiful city. Amazing city. I know London. It's a bubble. When you play for Chelsea Football Club, you live in London. You get good salaries. The city is an absolutely beautiful city.
But you don't see
if you don't have the right mentality to be able to compete, knowing where you are, why you are there not to enjoy the city. You are there not to say, oh, tell your friends and family, I live in London, that's it. You are absolutely there for one reason, winning for the football club, winning for the badge, competing for the badge, to continue the success, the culture of the football club. You have to. You have to. Now, I'm not saying don't enjoy your life. I'm not saying don't be, but the priority has to be winning for the football club. The priority has to be keeping the culture, who we are, what we stand for, going, which is winning. And I feel like so many of these young players haven't quite got it yet, haven't quite understood the magnitude of the football club where they are, what it takes to be a Chelsea player, the demands of what it takes to be here, to be at Chelsea Football Club, to win. And I just think because they're so inexperienced, and also the manager is so inexperienced, who is leading who? Who is pushing who? Who is dragging who? When you have such a young team, you need an experienced manager to be able to guide them. So far, I don't see who's guiding who. And of course, at the top, it's an absolute shambles.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, ultimately, and I think you said it a couple of episodes ago, that the longer this goes on, the bigger players might be looking at it thinking, I don't want to stick around for this. I might need to move on. One of the stats that I came across at the weekend, I couldn't believe it. I had to double check it. Bruno Fernandes with the assist for Matheus Cunha's goal. Now 18 assists for the season for Bruno. He's now 2 behind Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne's all-time record in the Premier League. Cole Palmer, you could argue Chelsea's own Bruno in the sense of their key creative fulcrum. He's got 1 assist. 1 assist.
1 assist the whole season
in the Premier League.
It just shows you.
Mental.
It shows you that sometimes when you have players like that, when you have your key players, your influential players, your key men, when things are not going right at a football club, it trickles down to the players. I've said it. When things are not going right at the top, it trickles down. It affects the players because, number one, the uncertainty of what is happening affects the players. Not knowing what's happening, not knowing who's coming in or who's going out, not knowing who's going to be the manager next season, not knowing what the objective of the football club is, the direction of the football club is, affects the top players. And then you have those players coming out and make a statement, oh, they want to move on, oh, they want to go somewhere and win big trophies and compete. That is not the fault of these players. That is not because they want to go out and win. They want to become competitive. They want to win tough trophies. They want to win big trophies. But don't come out and say, the problem that I have with the players, don't come out and say it in public. Go to the manager, knock on his door and say, you know what, thank you very much. I think I want to move on. That's what players should do. But when you have your best player having 1 assist the whole season, it's worrying. it's worrying because how it just shows. Yes, he's had injuries. Okay, there's no question about it. He's had injuries. But Cole Palmer doesn't even know what's happening in football. When I watch him play right now, he looks confused on the pitch. He looks like he doesn't know who he's playing with, what is happening, what the system is, what the setup is. There is no direction. There is no direction. With Enzo Maresca, there was a direction. He knows where he needs to play. He knows he needs to play in that pocket between the right and the left. He needs to play in that pocket. Right now, he looks lost on the pitch. There is no sense of direction. And that's when I look at Real Rosenior. There is no instruction from the touchline. I don't see a manager that scream. With Enzo, we know he can scream and shout and say, you stay there. You do that. He has a clear objective of how he wants the teams to play. A philosophy of how he wants the team to play. I have absolutely zero idea of how, when I watch us play right now, I just see 11 bunch of young players running around and just chasing the ball around. That's how I see us. That's how I see us. Honestly, there is no philosophy. There is no system. There is no tactics. There is absolutely zero. We've been losing the game. 9 minutes to go. You substituting a defender for a defender. What is the logic? Where is the logic to that?
You'll have it.
Please tell me. When we're losing a game at home, Mourinho will substitute the whole fucking centre backs and throw in all strikers to go and get a point, to go and win the game. That is the mentality we have. But now you have a manager that we're losing the game, 10 minutes to go. He's substituting defenders for defenders. Where is the logic? So, if the owners were the ones making the decisions on the pitch of who comes in and who goes out, so you're telling me that is the decision that the owners have made?
No.
So
that's Liam.
Who made the decision? That's Liam, of course.
That's Liam.
How can a manager, listen, me and you, we never coached, right? Never done it. If your team is losing 10 minutes to go, you're playing at home.
I ain't subbing a defender for a defender.
Oh, please. It's a fucking no-brainer. You don't teach these, though. Everybody should know this.
It's risk and reward. Get the big man up.
Get it up there. Because I'm losing anyways.
Exactly. Yeah, I would be. That's why I'm not.
Get the big man up there. Bring all the strikers in.
I'd get you up top, John.
You get me up top there, mate. I can't retire, man.
Bounce off of you, pal. Listen, it isn't great. And you know, there was a march before the game. I know French fans travelled over as well.
Yeah.
It was very much clear lake blue coat out. The message. I think there was about 500 fans in total on that. We're also seeing, which we were having a conversation about this off air, was the fact that a couple of Liam Rosenior's ex-teammates, whether you think this is fair or not, they've been asked the question, do you recognise the man that you now see in front of you? I think Kevin Colban said no. I know Sean Davis has recently given an interview in which he said that no, he doesn't see the Liam now that he saw in the dressing room. He was making the point it feels like he's swallowed a dictionary. All of this, John, it's a little bit, I have a little bit of sympathy for Liam in truth, but what it doesn't do him any good because the narrative is being built. The narrative, and winning football matches is the only way you can stop it. But I would now be staggered, John, staggered if Chelsea stick with Liam into next season. And he's not helped himself, I get that.
Listen, Liam, I the guy, I don't want to week in, week out talk about him. Talk about what I see about him and how I see the guy, whether he swallowed a dictionary or not. Like, it looks like it.
This doesn't feel authentic, huh?
It doesn't. Absolutely doesn't. When you look at all the successful managers, look at them, all of them. Look at all of them. Enzo Maresca is the guy you see is the guy you see.
Was José.
José, of course. José, we know he's the guy you see, but he's also a blockbuster. You know, he gives the media what they want, you know, which is, you know, he gives them the show. He gives them the Lou show, you know, but then in the dressing room, he's, you know, he gives them the show. So,
never heard that before.
But that's what he does. You know, José was successful like that. He's been successful like that. And, you know, the media absolutely loves him. You know, during press conference every Friday, they can't wait for the press conference with José because you never know what you're going to get. That is the thing with him.
But he was always
He never faked it. He never faked it. That's the one thing with him. And what I see with Liam is just, you know, if you have your ex-teammates coming out and saying, we don't recognize who you are or who he is, anymore. He looks like he's faking everything. But that's what I said. From the very first minute when I listened to him in press conference, I said it. There is something about the guy that I do not like. There is something about him. Now, take away his coaching ability or anything. The only way somebody can be successful, the only way you can get the right message across, the only way you can get things sent across for your players to believe your message, your philosophy, the way you want things to be done, is by being authentic, is by being who you are, is by sending the right message and not sugarcoating things and not trying to be so intellectual. Just say it how it is. Just be natural. Just relax and be yourself. Just speak normally, speak calmly, express yourself in the right, authentic way, in the right manner. Don't try to be it just doesn't work. And that's what I see. When I say week in, week out, there is something about him that doesn't connect with the football club. I still don't see the connection between him and the football club. With Chelsea football, there is that thing. It doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with a lot of people. A lot of people don't see it working out. He looks like a dead man walking to me. He looks like a guy, and when a club comes out and also make that statement that they've made, when the owners come out and make that statement,
we think
he looks like a guy who's just hanging on.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy that you don't know when they're going to pull the trigger. Absolutely no idea. I don't see him staying at the football club for a long time. I don't see that happening. So he needs to just get back to being himself, getting on with the job. He's here already. He's at the football club. Stop with the intellect. Stop all that bullshit. Stop all that crap. Put aside. Be you. Be Liam Rosenior. Be that guy. Free yourself. Enjoy where you are. Enjoy the competition where you are. You're in the Premier League. You're in the best league in the world. Enjoy it. Enjoy things. You're at Chelsea Football Club. Come on the press conference. Speak normally. Just be yourself. Be yourself. And that's what we're seeing again with Mikel Arteta. He's not being himself. He's rattled all over the fucking gaff. He's lost it. And that's what I see that is affecting Arsenal Football Club right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you as well, that game against Leeds United in the Emirates FA Cup semi-final is now massive.
Huge.
Massive.
Huge game.
Because there is still a chance to win a trophy.
Yes,
Chelsea.
Yeah, there's still a chance of us winning a trophy.
Huge.
Huge game. Playing Leeds at Wembley, right? Wembley, yeah. It's going to be tough. Leeds are playing well. They're flying. Daniel Farker has done an absolutely fantastic job. He's kept them up. I think a lot of people were questioning whether he should stay or he should go because every time he brings a team up in the Premier League, they always go straight back down. But he's done an absolutely fantastic job this season of keeping. There's still a lot of games to play. Still a lot of points to play for.
I think they'll stay up.
But I think so far they've done well. I think they'll stay up, and he's done an absolutely fantastic job. And Leeds are flying. They're playing well. They're competing. So we have a game in our hands. It's not going to be an easy game. We still have a chance of winning a trophy this season. Now, if he goes on and winning the FA Cup, is that enough for him to stay at the football club? If you ask me, no, I don't think so. Because I know a lot of people say it though, but there is something. There's an extra feeling. There's an extra pressure and then extra motivation, credibility when you are competing to win in the Premier League and the Champions League, or rather than no question, FA Cup is an important competition.
But I hear you.
But the Premier League and the Champions League, they're totally different animals, mate. When you're in it, when you are in touching distance with it, you come into the dressing room, you come into training, everybody's hyped up, everybody's feeling good because you know that you're in touching distance. You know you can feel it, you can smell it.
Big prizes.
Yeah, exactly. The big prizes. It's there for you to win. So, yes, he can go on and win the FA Cup, but is that enough for him to stay? I personally wouldn't keep him at the job if we don't qualify for the Champions League. If we qualify for the Champions League and winning the FA Cup, then I give him another season. I say, okay, that's good enough. But if we fail to qualify for the Champions League and winning the FA Cup, I don't think that's enough, mate.
So
I don't think because it's shown me that we can't compete. So far, what he's shown everybody is that we can't compete in the Premier League.
In the big games, no.
In the big games. And so far, what you've been brought into Chelsea Football Club is to win the big titles. When you come into Chelsea football, it's to win big titles. Nobody brought him into the football club saying, oh, you just have to win the League Cup and the FA Cup. No. It's the Premier League and the Champions League. So if we qualify for the Champions League and if he wins the FA Cup, in my opinion, I still don't believe that's enough. But again, it's up to the owners.
Ultimately, 7 points is the gap to Liverpool. They've still got to play Liverpool at Anfield. I know Liverpool have still got to go to Old Trafford.
Yep.
Liverpool have still got Aston Villa as well. So Liverpool have not got an easy run in. Do Chelsea make it though? 7 points the gap, 5 games to go. Did Chelsea make it?
I think if you look at every team, they've all stepped it up. Every team and the top 4, top 5 now, they've all stepped it up. You find the right way of stepping it up. And that's what I think, I said it. Getting rid of the manager that we got rid of has taken up. We took a step forward and we've taken 5 steps backwards. So for us to be able to build ourselves back up to that place, that position where we are, where we could smell that we have a way through, we've finally found something that is working. Now we've taken 5 steps backwards. And it's like we are trying to figure things out again.
Yeah.
In the crucial time of the season, the crucial part of the season where everybody's playing for something. Some people, relegation battle. Some people, European places. So, the top 2 fighting for the Premier League. Everybody's playing for something. And so far, what we're doing is like, we're trying to figure things out, mate.
Yeah.
We are trying to figure who is the starting 11. He doesn't even know who his starting 11 is. And we're in the crucial part of the season. He doesn't know. He's chopping and changing plays week in, week out. Somebody start, Garnacho start, next. All over the fucking place, mate. All over the place.
It is.
We look like we have absolutely no clue, no sense of direction of where the football club is going. On the pitch and outside it. So when you see the fans come and protest the way they are, the fans from France also came in and also joined and saying Bluco out. That is a massive frustration. So you're not just looking at Chelsea Football Club. You're looking at a team from France, Strasbourg or whoever they can also feel that their football club is not run properly. The intentions of the football club is not the right one. And they've traveled so far from France to London to protest, to join the Chelsea fans to protest. Clearly there's something wrong. Clearly there's something going on. Because you can see it. You can see it. And I think the Chelsea fans deserve more. The Chelsea fans deserve to have a say, to speak up. And the only way they can speak up is by absolutely protesting. The club needs to get back to what it is. What it is getting the players that are already made players that are coming in to win. Mix it up. Mix it up. You cannot win the Premier League titles with young players. No, it's never done. I never see it done. When you look at the Manchester United, the same, the Roy Keane, the Paul Scholes. Yes, they did come through the Paul Scholes. There was a mix, the class of 92, right? There was a mix then of
Peter Schmeichel.
And all these guys. They were there. When you look at Arsenal, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, and then the Fabregas started coming through. You look at us, they were young players, but there was a mix of it.
JT, Drogba.
You look at Liverpool, Steven Gerrard, these guys. There was always a mix. I've never seen a team that just go on to win in the Premier League with just young players. No, get the young players in, yes, to develop them because there's lots of potentials in there, but absolutely mix it up. The young players need some sense of direction during games because during it, if you've not been in games, tough games, difficult games, big games, you don't understand how it feels.
Of course.
Because sometimes the ball is going past you. You don't know what you're doing. You need a strong head. You need somebody with experience to say, you know what?
I'm down.
I'm right next to you, mate. Calm down. Calm down. We will figure a way. Just follow my lead. Follow my lead. That's what you need. And exactly what I got when I joined the football club at 18 years old. I had those big players right next to me. Sometimes the games were flying past me. I don't know what's happening. And when you have the likes of Frank Lampard, Michael Essien, Didier Drogba, these guys right next to you, JT, they can say, all right.
I'm sure they didn't say, all right, John Boy.
No. Of course, there was a time they said, get your fucking ass together. But there was also a time when they knew they have to write, you know what?
Yeah,
Stick with me. Stick with me. We'll find a way. We'll figure it out. Stick with me. Let's just soak up this pressure. And then when we have it, then we can play. And that's what I see, that these players don't have it. There's nobody there that can say something to each other. And there's nobody that can grab each other on the fucking throat and say, wake the fuck up. Nobody. And that's what I talk about, acceptancy. It's all like, okay, it's fine, it's okay. Mate, there was times when I didn't speak to my teammate for a couple of weeks because we had a fight on the pitch, mate. Fuck off. Yeah, you too, fuck off. All right, don't speak to me too. But then we go on winning the game. But that's the competitiveness. A week passed by, we don't speak to each other because we want to win. Because that's what it takes of being there at the football club. It takes that winning. And after that, we both know exactly what we wanted to achieve. And when we achieve it, we shake hands and we move on. And that's what I don't see at this football club right now. The acceptance of becoming a team that just accepts losing is frightening, it's scary. And I don't want to see us become a team that goes in the next 5 years of not winning the Premier League. Oh, man, it's going to break my heart because it's going to be tough. Not just the Chelsea fans are going to be heartbroken because, again, the other teams are getting better. Are we going to finish in the top 4? Right now, with the way we're playing, not scoring a single goal in 4 games. Where do you see the goal coming from? Where do you see us winning games from?
Right now.
City are winning. Arsenal top of the league. Manchester United, fuck knows where they came from, but they're where they are right now. Some magic that Michael Carrick is performing at the football club. Absolute magic compared to where they were when he took over to where they are right now. And it's just the contrast of both teams, isn't it? Manchester United and Chelsea.
Yeah.
One seems to be on the way up. The other seems to be on the way down. It's like different.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
Do you think United are on a better trajectory than Chelsea?
Of course. I think Michael Carrick is doing an absolutely fantastic job. I think next season, if he gets the backing that he wants, and I think if he gets the job, obviously he's not been given the job yet. If he gets the job and he gets a little bit of backing, he brings in, I think he still need a couple of centre-backs. And I think maybe another midfield player, Maino now is performing, is playing well again. Casemiro is leaving the football club, bringing somebody else that can, has the grit to be able to tackle, run, and be that guy that can break up plays. I think, strikers forward, they have all them Buemos and, Konya, players who can create Seshko, it seems like he's finding his feet now. So the trajectory is there. Manchester United are on the way up, and we seems to be on the way down. So it's a worrying times for Chelsea fans, and I just hope that we can quickly get ourselves out of this mess that we find ourselves, because we don't want to go 5 years, 10 years without winning the Premier League, and it just looks like that's where we're headed right now. Because City will spend again next season, Arsenal will get better, Liverpool will get better. Manchester United will get better. Newcastle, I think next season will get better. Aston Villa will get better. So, you're seeing teams now. It's not becoming the top 4 right now. It's becoming top 6 big teams, top 8. So we need to compete. We need to invest, strengthen. We need to strengthen. Get a fucking top goalkeeper, a new manager. Get fucking Sanchez out of the football club. I mean, he can become a number 2. Bring in a top goalkeeper. We've seen what a top goalkeeper does for a football club. We've seen that. And there's no magic about that. When you have a top goalkeeper, you have built a solid foundation of being able to go in the season, win the Premier League.
It's going to be a big summer. It's going to be a big few weeks of the season, John. Ultimately, City, big win for them midweek, and they will be top of the Premier League table. Of course, there are still going to be twists and turns. Chelsea fans, let us know as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's still going to be lots of twists and turns.
No doubt.
And again, I just think Arsenal and they need to find a way. They're not out of it yet. They still have to believe. But then where does that belief come from? Where does that self-belief come from? They have to find it. Nobody is coming to help them. There is nobody coming to help the football club. They have to find whatever it is to get them over the finish line. Within, they have to find it. Between the players. The manager has to, this is where top managers end their money. A top manager ends his money when it's not going well, towards the crunch time of the season, towards the end of the season, when you are competing, 5-6 games to go, you're 2-3 points ahead, and you've got pressure right behind you. This is where top managers end their bucks. And Mikel Arteta has to do that. They have to find that. Whatever it is, they have to get it out. The mental side of the game, I said it, is a big, huge side. Psychologically, they seem like they're not there. One team seems like they're there. They focus. One team looks like they absolutely nailed on. They know exactly what they're doing. The other doesn't. The other looks like they're losing it right now. And these Arsenal fans, again, season after season, it looks like they're going to go trophyless again. And it's going to be an absolutely massive disaster.
Well,
massive disaster.
He's got a big week.
If they go this season trophyless, absolute disaster. Yes, they have Atletico in the Champions League, which I think they might go through. Tough game, they might go through. But then you have to face either Paris Saint-Germain or Bayern Munich right now, which both of them are absolutely on fire. They look like a different world, those two. The way PSG playing, the way Bayern Munich are playing. Totally different. Absolutely on fire. So that's not a given, the Champions League.
No.
Because you have two absolutely fantastic teams that's going to wait for you if you go past Atletico in the finals. So that's not a given. And they're still in the Premier League title.
5 games.
5 games to go, 3 points. They still have to believe. Mikel Arteta, stop with the quotes. Stop with the fucking mind games that you play during training. Get back to basics. Stop the fucking TikTok movie. Stop that. Get back to basic. Focus. Focus. Get the team to focus on the mission ahead. The mission ahead is winning the Premier League. Stop the whole mind games. Trying to play the mind. No. Get your team in the room. Have a meeting. Have a discussion. Get the team out, dinner, whatever it is. Enjoy the situation where you are. He is not enjoying the situation where they find themselves. He looks like a bag of nerves. And that nerves is what is rubbing off his team. His team looks nervous. They look absolutely shitting themselves every time I watch them. They look scared. They look nervous. Legs are heavy. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows what to do. And first time in such a long time, yesterday game, we didn't see David Raya. After 10 minutes to go, he falls down with an hamstring injury. We didn't see that yesterday because they were losing. The mind games was not there. There was no cramp.
No, there wasn't.
There's nothing like that. They are rattled. They have to find a way. Calm yourselves down. Head straight. Do the basics. Because right now, City are doing the basics. They are doing the basics. Playing well, winning games. No complication. No complication. The manager comes out in press conferences. It doesn't complicate everything. Says the right thing at the right time. Makes the jokes. Sometimes doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't give you what you want. It doesn't give the media what they want. That's just who we are. Because he's been there. He knows how to play these games. And Mikel Arteta is not coping with it really well. They have to find a way. And it looks like it's slipping out of their hands.
Cannot wait for the next few weeks, John. Cannot wait to be back in these chairs. Talking about it. Big week upcoming. Of course, it is Emirates FA Cup semi-final weekend. Big one for Chelsea and all of that. Big one for Arsenal as well next weekend against Newcastle. John and I will be back. Of course, we will on Taking the Mikel to discuss it all. Do subscribe to us if you haven't already. Leave a comment or two. We'll get to your comments. I always keep an eye on them. I know John does as well. And do make sure to follow us across our social media platforms as well. Obi-Wan Podcast.
Fire, Mikel Arteta. I'm on fire.
You've been on fire today. I'll give you that, John. Podcast made possible by Bet Winner. Ta-ra for now.